Hello, my name is Michaela Mitre. I go by Mika for short, and my coach was Miley Williamson. Just a little bit about myself. I am a junior, majoring in kinesiology with a concentration of pre-OT, which is occupational therapist. That is what I want to do in the future. I'm aiming for going to grad school. Um, and yeah. A goal that Miley and I talked about was applying for graduate school, but when Miley and I were talking about goals, she said that I need to make a smaller goal in order for me to, or smaller goals in order for me to achieve my bigger goals. So I had to take a step back to see what I needed to do in order to apply to graduate school, and something that I needed to do was to study for the GRE and eventually take the GRE test. GRE tests are pretty much like the ACT, SAT test that we took in high school, but this one is going to be for graduate school. Like I said in the previous slide, I am interested in occupational therapists, so that is a requirement for pretty much all the schools that I want to apply to, and these are the four schools that have the master program for occupational therapists, which are ECU, Winston-Salem, UNC Chapel Hill, and Lenoir-Rhyne. These are my four schools that I'm aiming to apply for this fall or this at the end of this year. So I worked with Miley how to like study for the GRE and what I plan to do, and with that, I set myself to studying pretty much every single day, 4 hours a day, and I made a Google Calendar on when and like what time I'm gonna study, and also which part of the GRE I'm going to study. So that is something that I worked with Miley, and yeah. A personal growth that I grew in during the Silver Challenge was to be vulnerable and be humble. I was always talking to Miley about how I'm like very passionate about my education, my future, and like the career that I want to pursue. Getting to graduate school, I just want to pursue all this stuff with like having an open mind, so I'm able to like receive open criticism or just any lessons that anyone can teach me, because I mean, asking a simple question can go a long way. And so with that, like with having an open mind, I feel like that is what is making me feel this way, because I always want to get all the help that I need or all the help that I want. And even Miley said that she could see that I'm very passionate about what I'm doing and like being successful. So that is just a personal growth that I overcame this Silver Challenge. For the community engagement, due to the COVID-19, I wasn't able to physically volunteer with a occupational therapist this semester. But I'm just going to be speaking in my past experiences for the past a year and a half to 2 years. I volunteered with different OTs in different clinical settings, hospital settings, etc. I started out my sophomore year, and pretty much I've just been volunteering with different occupational therapists, from working with older people to pediatrics. So I was able to get those experience, um, and I think it was a really good experience. Gave me good insight of what an OT does on an everyday basis, and like also being able to help out with whatever they needed me to do. So I was still getting that community engagement. So that was really good to me. It made me push myself even harder to like work towards my goals, because this is really what I want to do. I'm very passionate about it. It just like this whole experience just made me love the career even more. I want to look more into volunteering with different occupational therapists, like specifically for like maybe hand therapy, um, or maybe like surgery, like right after surgery. Um, but those are some things that I was able to experience. Um, so yeah. For personal motivation, I saw this quote that said, "Great leaders inspire greatness in others," and I think it's important to lead positive social change because I'm also able to voice out my opinions and also have an understanding of my surroundings. Um, this year, obviously, I was in a position or I had a role in an organization called FASA, which is Filipino American Student Association. And I've been on the e-board council the last 2 years, and I was able to grow from each year, but also in high school, I was the president of my class for 3 years. So I already had this type of experience. So with that, I was also be able to grow each year, and I thought that I became more confident. Just like receiving all this lessons and stuff from older people or from their experience, I was able to give what I learned to others so I can help them. And something like an example that happened during the semester was my roommate, who is also on the same organization as me. She wanted to be, or she wanted to run for president, and so I was giving her some advice, some tips on what she can do because I had some experience about that. And I know this is college and it's going to be a lot more work and more effort to what she's wanting to do. So I was giving her some more tips and stuff. Um, and just giving off what I've learned in the past and just hoping that she learns from me, but also she's able to experience what she's learned in this whole process. So, yeah. For my future goals, I pretty much just want to gather everything that I've learned, whether that's from experiences, from the organizations that I'm in, these silver and bronze leadership that I was able to do, just everything that I learned and apply it to my life, whether that is my personal life, my educational life, like just pretty much everything. Um, because I feel like it can go a long way, and I don't think that you need to be in an organization in order to be a leader. You can be a leader in a group, in your class, or even when you're with your friends. Like, you don't actually have to be in an organization, and I feel like that's what everyone needs to have an understanding of. um I found this quote that said, "Today I choose to be to be the best version of myself." And I think that's very important because with all this stuff that you're learning and experiencing, like, you're able to apply this to your life, be better at what you were yesterday. And I think that is what's gonna make myself be successful in life. So that is something that I learned this pretty much a good amount of these leadership programs. So yeah, that wraps up my Expo slides. I appreciate Miley so much for helping me and being my coach during this program. I hope I'm able to do the gold leadership next year. That's why I did the silver ship during my junior year, so I can do the gold during my senior year. And I appreciate everyone, and thank you so much.